Lumos. Hi guys, what is up? I'm Maddie and this is Creative Readers, etc., the channel where we do creative things that sometimes involve reading, etc. Today I'm doing my O.W.L.s Magical Readathon reading wrap-up, and I'm basically just gonna go through all the books that I've read and explain a little bit about them, how I liked them. And I guess before we get started, I should say that I went for the librarian and I succeeded, so let's get right into that. So the first subject that I read for was Ancient Runes, and the prompt for that was Heart Rune. Read a book with a heart on the cover or in the title, and for that I chose Jane Eyre. Accio Jane Eyre. Wingardium Leviosa. So this book is actually a book that we had to read for our college English class, and out of all the books we read for that class, it is 100% my favorite. And even though I didn't always like exactly what the characters were doing, I always found that it was a good read, and that even though the characters made me mad sometimes, literally I loved them, and I will probably read this again in the future. So that was my first book for Ancient Runes. Expelliarmus! Okay, the next subject that I had to read for was arithmancy, and the prompt for this one was read a book that's outside of your comfort zone, and for that I read Darius the Great is Not Okay. Accio Darius. Wingardium Leviosa. My wand. So this book is a contemporary? A YA contemporary, and usually I lay more toward fantasy or fiction books, which technically this is a realistic fiction, but it's just not normally something that I would have picked up. And actually Lexi got me this book for my birthday, and her and Cassandra both read it and they highly recommended it, so I decided to pick it up, and oh my gosh, I'm literally so glad that I did. I loved this book. I loved everything about it, and oh my gosh, it just it made my heart warm inside, but also sad at the same time. I don't know. I'm doing a complete book talk on this. So if you haven't heard of this book before and you're interested to read it, go check out my book talk and get some more of the inside scoop on that one. And that's about it. Expelliarmus! The next subject that I had to read for was Defense Against the Dark Arts, and the prompt for that one was read a book set out to sea, and for that I read Brother Band Book 2, The Invaders. Revelio. This book is the second one in the series, and I had already read the first one. It's by John Flanagan, who is one of my favorite authors, so I obviously knew that I was going to like this book. And while the first one was kind of slow read for me because I just it took me a minute to get into it, this one dived right in and it was fantastic. The battle scenes were amazing. The way he explained the stuff on the ship, even though I know nothing about boats, it's not confusing at all. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend this series and the Ranger's Apprentice series. Evanesco. Alright, so the next subject on my list was History of Magic, and for that the prompt was read a book featuring a witch or wizard. And obviously, since this is the Harry Potter O.W.L.s readathon, I couldn't pass up but to read a Harry Potter book. And me and my mom recently watched all of the movies because she'd never seen them or read the books. And so I told her I was going to reread this, and she asked me if I would like to read it out loud. Accio Harry Potter. Wingardium Leviosa. Obviously, if you've been in the reading community long, which I assume most of you had, and even if you haven't really, everyone knows about Harry Potter, and there's about 10,000 million different videos you could watch about it, so we're just going to do a brief summary, and that is that I love the characters, and it's about Ron, Hermione, and Harry, and they go on a great adventure to stop Lord Voldemort, and that's the tea. The final subject on my list is Transfiguration, and the prompt for that was read a book with shapeshifting in it. And the book I chose is a book by my favorite author, Jonathan Stroud. And since we're in quarantine, I really just had to choose books off of my bookshelf, and I didn't know that I had any books with a shapeshifter in it. And then I started looking up this series that I really wanted to read, and I found the Bartimaeus trilogy. Accio Bartimaeus. So this book is about a boy named Nathaniel who is a magician, and he summons a demon named Bartimaeus, who is ranked as a Jinn, which is just a different kind of demon. So he's kind of higher powered, and for Nathaniel's age, he really shouldn't be able to summon a demon of such high power, but he does to get back at his master. And to do that, he steals an amulet from another magician and then frames his master. And I don't exactly know what his big master plan was, but the other magician finds out and then kills his master and his wife, and then tries to kill Nathaniel, and then, but he doesn't succeed in killing Nathaniel. And then, I don't know, Nathaniel gets all upset because he didn't really plan on them dying, but he's kind of an immature character, but he's well written. So throughout the next 2 books, I'm excited to see how he grows. But right now, he's not very accustomed to dealing with the consequences of his actions. And so right now, that's what he's facing, along with Bartimaeus, who is still indebted to be by his side. And basically, Bartimaeus is telling him he's an idiot, and then he just, I don't know. They're very sarcastic and witty, but Nathaniel's like kind of stupid, but not in a stupid way stupid, just kind of stupid. I don't know. Both the characters are kind of witty and sarcastic, which I really like about them, and it's interesting to see the magic system of this world and how basically it all revolves around what demons you can summon and then what you can make those demons do for you as a magician. And so that's been really interesting. I like the writing style. The only complaint I have is that there's footnotes whenever Bartimaeus is talking, like he's interjecting more into the story. We have to like go to the bottom of the page, and it's not just like one sentence. It's like whole chunks of paragraph that are these footnotes, and then there's like almost one on every page at the start of the book. Towards the end, they get kind of less, but I gave up reading them because it wasn't giving me like any valuable information to the story, and it was really just slowing down my reading process because I was having to stop and then go down and then read it and like remember back where I was and start again, and I wasn't loving it. So yeah, I stopped reading the footnotes, and then that made it a much more enjoyable read. But the writing style is good, and there's not a lot of characters actually, but the characters that are there are also pretty interesting and well written. So that is all I have to say about Bartimaeus and Expelliarmus. So with those 5 books, I passed my O.W.L.s and am right on track to be able to do well in my N.E.W.T come this August. And I'm really excited to do that. This is the first year that I've successfully read all the books for my readathon, and it'll be the first time that I've attempted the August to N.E.W.T. I'm just really excited to have the chance to, now that I've done this one, to do the one in August, and I am so excited to film that and show it to all of you as well. Those were all the books that I read for the O.W.L.s, and like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let us know what you read for your O.W.L.s, or if you're gonna jump in for the N.E.W.T come this August. Bye guys, N.E.W.T.